Today's video is going to be about research design. Research design means the framework which is used to choose the specific methods of data collection and data analysis. So, as we move ahead with our research plan, we now need to decide what sort of tools we will use, how we will collect the data, what we will be doing with that data. So all those planning and layout will come under research design. Now there are various types of research design. Now according to the type of question, research question and your research aims, you will have to choose the design accordingly. Now majorly research design can be divided into two groups. One exploratory and the other one is conclusive. Exploratory research it does not aim to provide any final or any conclusive answers to your research questions. If you just look at the word explore, it literally means that you are here to just find out what your research question is all about, because it is an unknown area which has never been explored before. So that's why the exploratory research design is used for those sort of questions or problems or research problems which has never been explored before. No knowledge is available to make any informed decision about anything. So for any new kind of data emergence or seeking new knowledge, the research design exploratory is used to just gather the initial data or answers to the questions we have. On the other hand, conclusive research design, it will generate some concrete findings based on which we can practically make decisions based on the results which we get from our conclusive research design. Here is an example of our exploratory research design. The title says that an investigation into the ways of parent-child relationship in the era of mobile phone usage. So from this research title, we can see that the aim is to investigate, explore the ways what is happening to the parent-child relationship in the times when mobile phone usage is quite common. So this looks like just a mere investigation. There is not any intention to find any solid answers to any questions. On the other hand, if you see the conclusive research design example, it says that critical analysis into the role of social media as an effective marketing tool. So this title itself is saying that it is going to critically analyze, which means they are going to use some very pertinent data tools to come into the conclusion of understanding the role of social media, which is an effective marketing tool. So the two research titles are pretty much saying what their research design or the research aim is going to look like. So one is exploratory, it's going to explore the whole relationship, parent-child relationship in the era of mobile phone usage, which means that they are not going ahead with any concrete plan of how to do it. They may be having an idea of covering maybe below 18, or maybe just adolescents or just children. So there could be any kind, but they will come to some sort of answers to maybe do a more conclusive research in the future. So that is the idea. Whereas conclusive research design, here they are very sure of how to do it, which means that they are going to do quantitative analysis of, and they will use some tools which will generate very concrete results for this particular research question. Let's understand exploratory research a bit more. As I was saying, that exploratory research, it explores the research questions and studies the problem which has not been defined yet. So exploratory research, it does not aim to provide any final or any conclusive answers to your research questions. It's just going to merely explore the research topic with various levels of depth. And that's why exploratory research is also sometimes called initial research, because it will form the basis of a more conclusive research in the future. It can even help in determining a more robust research design or a sampling methodology or data collection method for your future research problems. So exploratory research, it will generate an idea of how to find or how to just gather some first-hand knowledge about a problem which we don't have much idea about, we don't have much knowledge about. So it gives some insights, the very initial information of a problem which is not yet understood very properly. So for this type of research, the most popular and widely used data collection method is unstructured interview. Also surveys, focus groups, observation methods, these are also used. So let's just sum up the advantages and disadvantages of exploratory research before we go to conclusive research. So one of the advantages of exploratory research is lower cost of conducting these sort of studies. Then the number 2 is flexibility and adaptability to change, because as you go on the course of an exploratory research design, you will find that maybe I need to change my direction, or maybe I just need to gather or maybe use another tool to better understand this method. So that sort of flexibility is always allowed in exploratory research, and because it is sort of laying the groundwork, which is the next advantage. Actually, it is effective in laying the groundwork for leading to your future studies, because that's what the flexibility of exploratory studies gives us, that we are here to gather the very initial information, because because we don't know anything about this research problem, we have that sort of freedom to gather as much as knowledge from various sources and various ways as much as possible. And definitely we discuss how we do that. And exploratory research is as I was saying, that we go to the various depths of understanding the problem through the exploratory design method. And the last advantage is that it saves time by determining at the very earlier stages whether this type of research is even worth pursuing or not. So that's one of the advantages. And disadvantages are that it generates qualitative information which sometimes can lead to bias. The sample size also is very small, because we are gathering a lot of data from a very small sample size, but at the same time this very small sample size is not adequately representing your target population. So that's one of the disadvantage. And the last disadvantage is that finding of such type of studies is usually not very useful in making a decision at a practical level. So that's understandable, because we are here to understand the nature of the problem, what it looks like. It sort of like looks like in the exploratory research design, and with the help of that we are able to create a more structured research design in the future. Conclusive research design is used to generate findings which are practically useful in reaching conclusions or decision making. In this type of studies, research objectives and data requirements has to be clearly defined. In conclusive research design, usually quantitative methods of data collection and data analysis are used. And in conclusive studies, the research objectives of these studies are achieved via testing the hypothesis. So that is one major difference from the exploratory research design, that here the hypothesis is tested in conclusive research design. So conclusive research is also very likely to use statistical tests, advanced analytical techniques, and larger sample size compared to exploratory studies. And conclusive research is more likely to use quantitative methods rather than qualitative techniques. And conclusive research is also very helpful in providing a reliable or representative picture of the very large population through the application of a valid research instrument. That is also one major difference from the exploratory studies, that came as a disadvantage also for exploratory studies, that sample size is relatively small and it does not represent the targeted audience. So conclusive research design, it can be divided into two categories: descriptive research and causal research. Descriptive research is used to describe some functions, characteristics, or phenomenon. So as the word descriptive implies, that descriptive is describing the functions, the characteristics, or the phenomenon. And this also can be further divided into like case study, case series study, cross-sectional study, longitudinal study. So these are the various further groups under descriptive research. Whereas causal research is used to research to find out the cause and effect relationships. So two very popular research method under causal research is experimental and quasi-experimental studies.